Hey, everyone. Just first of all, just Barak Atah Hesed Ben Yehovah, Anaim, Yahweh, Yeshua, and Ruach Hayah Tamaim, Meolam Deyad Olam. Just continue to bless you, the beloved sons of Yahweh, and lift you up into his face, where you dwell in his perfection forever. Because you all are the most radiant, glorious, beautiful reflections of him, holy and righteous and magnificent, limitless, immortal, and above all, you are and you will always be his pure delight and pleasure. And it's just an honor to be with you this morning. I can't tell you how grateful I am for this group and just how Yahweh just continually releases so much through everybody that's a part of this group. And I just want you to know I just so appreciate each and every one of you so very much. So to begin, I want to answer a question Sylvia asked. She said she's been engaging breathing and just the breath. And she had an experience where, she felt like her blood boiling and her body would get hot. And here's the beauty of how simple Yahweh made this in breathing. We know that the word breath is the word neshama. There's Anun Shin Mem Hey. And in breathing, I mean, it comes all the way down to even just physical breathing. I mean, you can physically engage in just physical breath. I mean, there are people that do that all over the globe, and they find out that it will affect their physical bodies. But this is how beautiful Yahweh made this. This right here equals 350. The Nun Shin. The Nun Shin, that the other word that equals that is afar, which is the word for dust. So Yahweh designed us that when we breathe, it affects our dust, it affects our physical bodies. And because it has the shin in it, the fire, the perpetual fire of Yahweh, when you breathe, it is actually engaging you with that perpetual living fire of Yahweh, and that's why sometimes you will feel that hot, or you will feel energy flowing through you when you breathe him, because Yahweh made it just that simple. And there's so much more for us to indulge in when it comes to breathing, because in my opinion, above a lot of other things we could classify ourselves as, breath would probably have to be at the top of the list. Because Yahweh is breath, he's spirit, breath, and he breathed into us. We came into being out of a breath. And he breathed that breath into our afar, out of our dust, into our dust. So our spirit and our physical body are so handmade by Yahweh, tailor-made by Yahweh to integrate perfectly with each other. And that's another one of the ideas and concepts of separation that Yahweh is trying to dismantle, because in a lot of our natural upbringing over the years, there's been a separation between body and spirit. But Yahweh made them to perfectly fit together like a hand in a glove. And so when you begin to learn how to just breathe him, and this is how this word works. This is neshama. So he breathes this way, we inhale this way. You recognize the breath of Yahweh. You recognize his presence. And then you recognize the living energy that's within that breath in that moment. And it could show up in so many different ways. It could be peace, it could be love, it could be joy, it could be something you just don't have a word for. So don't get hung up on trying to define it. The whole concept of breathing is, it's an engagement. It's just like you grab onto the living energy that's in his breath in the moment, and you let it burn. You let it consume you for as long as you possibly can, because when you do that, it releases the noon. What is the noon? Jubilee, full restoration of all things. So simply in just breathing, it engages you in the fire of Yahweh that will release into you Jubilee, into your afar, or your dust. So that's one of the reasons why it's so I would say important, but to learn how to breathe. And our friend Enoch, his whole testimony of his life is that he learned how to breathe, and he learned how to breathe and be breath to such a point that he had engaged there's a place in breathing where you enter into the highest realities of Yahweh's delight and pleasure. Because Enoch's testimony was he was the pleasure of Yahweh, Hebrews 11:5.